Hey, it's Dorleen. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm working on a layout, but this is going to be a title page. I don't do this very often, so I was really kind of hesitant, or it was hard for me to start. So I'm scrolling through the pictures right now. So basically, my family and I did a virtual marathon in 2021, and we called it the Tomcat Strut. You could read more about it on my my goodness, my blog. And I'll have the link below in the information box. But basically, we have family all over, mostly in California, but there's some out of state. And we decided to do a memorial marathon because my nephew had passed away during COVID, and during all that time there weren't funerals or memorials or anything like that, and a lot of us didn't really get a chance to think about him, grieve about him, those kind of things. So we decided to do this walking virtual marathon, which was a lot of fun because we created a lot of new memories with cousins, aunts, uncles. Actually, I think there was at least for sure, 4 generations that were participating in this strut. So what I did is I picked this paper. Now that paper, I don't know if you saw the back sides, but it's all kind of this carnival, hot air balloons, this and that. But I really like the color scheme of it. So most of these are the B side, which is fine. So a lot of reds, blues, yellows. And then I went to Cricut Design Space and just kind of searched for marathon. Of course, I was getting a lot of like runners, things like that. So it did take me a while, and I finally decided, let me just look for shoes, water bottles, this little walking symbol, and that 50K was pretty cool because that's what it was. It was a 50K. So you saw me just snap right through and get those die cuts all put together, which isn't that the magic of filming? So this marathon paper that I did find, even though I think it was probably supposed to be for running, like I said, but who cares? It just has marathon all throughout the page. I did buy a couple of those because I knew I'd use them. I may have to go back and buy more. Hopefully they still have them. But anyhow, so I'm still kind of figuring out what am I going to do. I did decide to cut down that marathon paper 11 by 11, so basically an inch off 2 sides. And then I'm going to mat it with this beautiful red cardstock. Now all the cardstock that I used for the embellishments and the base for this layout are from Cut Cardstock. And if you get a chance, go check out their website. They have great deals on cardstock in a variety of color. So again, check out my blog and I'll have all that information in the blog. So after fussing around with the embellishments, I did decide to mat this one photo. Now that photo that I'm doing is the actual graphic that we used for the marathon that year. And my nephew, who's a graphic designer, designed that, and he ended up doing the one for last year, 2022, and obviously we'll continue with that. So I really like this natural craft paper that I decided to use it because it's a lighter craft, and it really coordinated well with the tan colors that were in the photo slash graphic, right? So that really popped it out. And for some reason, that just kind of made a huge difference in everything that I was seeing. So again, I did decide to make that marathon paper into a big pocket because I did have a piece of paper that was our kind of invitation to all the relatives, saying why we were doing it and what and all the details. And so I thought that was important to keep, and you'll see me make that page into a pocket later. But like I said, you can see me do that later. And that was a new thing for me. I don't normally have hidden pockets, things like that, but it wasn't so much that it was sensitive information. It just was a lot of information, and I thought it would too much for the one page. So I'm using this centering guide that I've had forever, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little warped because I had it way too close to my iron one day, but it still works. I actually even took out my T-square ruler, which, again, I don't even know if this thing's straight, because if you know me, I swear I try, but nothing's ever straight. But which leads me into my next intro. So I do post 2 videos a week. One is always scrapbooking, and one is whatever it is I'm creating in the Command Center. So the Command Center is the name of my craft room and also my blog. So this is what I'm talking about. So what I do is I put adhesive on 3 sides of the paper, and then on the top part, I just use my hand as a guide. And luckily that paper had lines, so I just kind of guessed where I would put that paper. You can see, I hope you could tell, you can see the shiny part of the adhesive. So I left that part open, so that way I can slide in that information that I was talking about earlier. Now that's a pretty simple idea, and I may even use that later because I thought that was smart. I don't know why I've never done that before. Now, those little people are actually is it negative, positive, whatever, part of a cut that I did. They were little walking signs, and so I didn't want to throw those away because those were just perfect for more embellishments. And then I'm just adding a little bit of splatter because a little bit of splatter is always a good thing. This page is actually really plain for me, but for a title page, to me, it's perfect. You don't need to do all the things, right? So I did, as an afterthought, think that I probably should have put a little notch over in that top part. So I grabbed my 3/4 of an inch punch, slid that in there, and then just punched the marathon paper. So you can see right there, now it has a little notch. So when I slide that paper in, first of all, I'll remember that it's in there, and then also easier to pull it out. But anyhow, hope you like this, and if you do, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. Like I mentioned before, I post 2 videos a week, and I'd love to have you back. Thanks for watching. Bye.